So, basic question. What do you guys need your laptop for? For me, basically, it is a lot of emailing, Google Docs, YouTubing, and my general university stuffs, like random file management, downloading PDFs and documents. And on the heavier side, I do use Photoshop and video editing software side by side. And that's pretty much it. So by now, you guys can obviously tell that I'm not a heavy user. My workflow is not that intensive. Therefore, I do not need to spend a lot of dollars in buying the newly launched 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pro. Therefore, I can get away with this guy right here. This is the 2020 MacBook Pro M1. So this is the 256GB variant of the Pro model. The same solid aluminum build, the same great sounding speaker setup, the same crisp display, and the smooth hinge. Also, the infamous touch bar has returned. Basically, everything is the same compared to its predecessor, except for the chip that's powering this MacBook. Oh yes, and the old butterfly switch, that's completely gone. Bye bye, you won't be missed. Replacing the keyboard is a newly updated Magic Keyboard. The typing experience here is great with lots of key travel and the tactile feedback. These buttons are clicky too. Really satisfying. And this trackpad is just as smooth as always. It is a bit smaller if you compare it side by side with the newly launched MacBook Pro models, but it is more than enough for most people. I do use my wireless mouse there, so that's no problem at all. Now, speaking of problems, let's talk about the ports. There are only 2 Thunderbolt ports in the left side, a headphone jack on the right. That's it. So of course, you need to buy an additional multi-port adapter alongside this laptop. If you guys need to connect multiple accessories like HDMI, card reader, and stuff like that, you definitely need to buy one. Now, Apple has made a huge deal about their 14 and 16-inch models XDR display. But does it really matter for an average user like us? Probably not, except for this bezels right here. Yeah, it's pretty small, but I don't like this at all. This display has much more to offer. The quality here is really good. Like watching YouTube videos, 4K contents, or any high-res videos is superb experience. It is plenty bright too, really sharp and vivid at the same time. Also perfectly visible outdoors. And since I edit my videos here, this display offers the same great color accuracy and excellent sharpness. Great job, Apple. Now, as far as webcams and microphones go, this MacBook Pro features the 720p OLED sensor. It lacks proper detail and color accuracy, and also suffers in low light. Basically, it's here just to serve the purpose. But on the flip side, the inbuilt studio mic here is great. The calls and recordings are crisp and loud. You do not need to even plug your headphones while voice calling and stuff like that. It is that good. You know what else is good here? You got it. Battery. This MacBook has beaten all the laptops in the market in terms of battery department. Period. In fact, this laptop is one of the longest lasting batteries in a MacBook ever. Except for the newly launched 16-inch MacBook model. That thing edges out this beast just slightly, just slightly. But this is the king for me. Unlike Apple claims it might not double in every use case, maybe in certain optimized apps here and there, like Safari. But generally speaking, for light to normal use case, you do not need to charge this machine for 2 to 3 days straight. 2 to 3 days. My goodness, that's a thing. This battery performance alone might be a worthy upgrade for most of you guys out there. I bet it is. Now, not just the battery, we had seen the huge performance claims too. Apple had claimed big numbers like 3.5x better CPU performance, 5x better graphics performance, and whatnot. So I decided to measure its daily task performance, and the truth is, it basically lives up to its claims. Now there's one thing, all the optimized apps for M1 Silicon flies in this machine, like they are extremely fast, faster than in any Mac ever built. The animations are smoother than ever. The big apps like Chrome, they also open right away, like super fast. The background app also remains as long as you want it to. The swiping and scrolling is buttery smooth. Overall, I can say it is a really responsive laptop for normal to heavy uses. You can buy this machine for your performance task and you won't regret it. Now you guys might be wondering, nothing seems to be bad here, right? All the things seems good. Everything is right up there. So what's the downside? Like, what's the catch? The catch is the transition of all these apps from old architecture to the new silicon. It might take some more time for basic apps like Photoshop to get properly dissolved in this ecosystem. But as far as I have tested, even with the apps that are not optimized for this particular MacBook, that is M1 Silicon, this thing flies like a rocket. Whether it is Photoshop or Premiere Pro or any apps that runs through emulation, that is Rosetta 2, this thing crushes it. No hiccups, no lags whatsoever. So the bottom line is, this MacBook Pro is impressive in every dimension, whether it be battery or performance, it's really great. Especially if you compare it to the Intel versions of the same product, this thing is a beast. So finally, should you guys buy this laptop? See, for a regular user like myself, or any students or creators that are getting into this creator field, I would say you definitely go for it. This thing is a beast, you know? You cannot expect more power than this, you know? It's a tank. This machine has yet not touched its peak potential because of all the apps compatibility situation right now. But once it gets fully optimized, this thing will be scary good. And for the people who are already a professional or have an established workflow right around, or they do need a specific app to run well in this machine, then you guys are to be patient, okay? See, don't get me wrong, but I really do not want you guys to break your workflow when you find out that this tiny little app that needs to run in this machine doesn't run. That might be a problem. But since Apple is betting so big on this silicon transition, I'm definitely sure that those small apps will also definitely run down the line. But for you non-professionals out there like me who are looking for a brand new laptop, this thing is a no-brainer. So yeah, that's pretty much it. See you guys in the next video. Take care.